All right. Well, hey, welcome to Movement. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. My name is Pastor Brandon. I go by Pastor Brandon PB. I don't know what else these people call me. The mean guy that kicks people out if you talk during service. But hey, I'm super glad that you're here. And this is your first time to Movement. This is really just a gathering of believers in high school, and we're all just trying to give you guys a safe space to explore your faith, to learn more about Jesus, and become who He's called you to be. And so we're going to jump into today's message. This is weird. This is week 4 of our series called "Is Giving Lie," so I'm super excited about that. This is I have 3 sermons left before my tenure is. Oh yeah. Let's handle our housekeeping business. So I have 3 Wednesdays left, including today. So my last Wednesday will be April 8th. That is coming up next week. No, don't boo. That's crazy. Next week we will be introducing the new student pastor. His name will be Pastor Chase. He's coming down from Columbus, Georgia. So make sure you're here. You guys are going to like him. He's fun. He's cool. He has a lot of great things going on. He has good energy. So make sure you're here for that. And then April 8th, say April 8th. Say April 8th. April 8th is my last Wednesday, so be here or be square. I don't know. Are we doing some type of celebration? I don't know. What are we? Oh, okay, all right. So we're doing. I don't know. I just work here. So April 8th. So make sure you guys come, and if you want a picture, you can have a picture, and you can cry and all those things. I have a saying that like when I die officially, I want the nations to weep. So when I leave you guys on April 8th, I want you all to weep. I want you guys to cry sad, sad tears. Are you going to miss me or are you going to miss me? You're going to miss me. All right, I'm going to miss y'all too. All right, we have a saying here, leaders are learners and learners. Learners take notes. So if you're in this room, I think you're a leader. So if you're a leader, that means you take notes. Here's why I encourage you to take notes. Note taking. You never know when you're going to go back and look at these notes. They might not apply to you today, but they might apply to you a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, 2 years. You never know how God wants to speak to you. So that's why we encourage everybody to take notes. Last but not least, we encourage everybody to not be a distraction. I'm so glad that you're here. Sometimes you're here because the honeys are here. That's cool with me. Just don't be disruptive. Be respectful of everybody. Who said A? Was that you, Elijah? Oh, Elijah's like, hey, girl in the front. McCoy's like, back off, bro. That's my girl. McCoy's like, did you not see me on stage with the proposal? Hey, but no, we just want you guys all to participate. It might not be for you, but it might be for the person next to you. So, like, let's make sure we lock in, all right? So, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to say whatever you need to say before I ask for complete lock-in. So, you got 15 seconds. Whatever you need to get out your system, get it out right now. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, done. All right, if you locked in, say locked in. All right, we're locked in. All right, here we go. Start my timer over. Here he is, week 4 of It's Giving Lie. So let me ask y'all something real around here. Have you ever had someone do you wrong? Yeah. And I don't mean small wrong. I mean they knew better wrong. Yeah. I mean, I've been there. Let me ask you this. Have you ever done somebody you knew better wrong? It was real quiet. All y'all have done that. Now, when I say knew better wrong, I mean this. A friend who talked about you behind your back. A relationship that ended messy. She looked a little too hard to your right. You want to call this person out? Oh, okay, all right. She was like, a parent who said something that stuck with you. Someone you trusted and they broke it. And now every time you think about them, it's like something in your chest gets tight. You replay it, you feel it again. And if you're honest, part of you is like, I don't want to forgive them. Not because you're an evil person that lacks forgiveness, it's because it hurts. And here's the lie that creeps in when this happens. The lie that creeps in is, I can't forgive. And if we're being more honest, it's I won't forgive. Now, we've been in the series, we've been talking about these lies so far. Week 1 is I don't matter. Week 2 is if I feel it, the lie is if I feel it, it's true. Week 3's lie is God won't forgive me. But here's the reality, guys. You can know you matter. You can stop letting feelings lead you. You can receive God's forgiveness and still be stuck. So now the question becomes, will you give what you just received? Today we're going to start off in Matthew chapter 18, verse 21 through 22. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21 through 22. Then Peter is one of my favorite disciples. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answered, I tell you not 7 times, but 77 times. So 70 times 7. That's 490 times for the same offense. Not 490 times in total, 490 times for the same offense. What I am not saying is to allow the person to keep doing that to you. That's toxic. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you're probably, if you're going to have to exercise some forgiveness, you're probably going to have to forgive someone for the same thing more than once, because every time that thing pops up in your head, you have to go, I need to forgive them again. Now here's the crazy part. Peter thought he was being generous. 7 times, I mean, that's a lot, right? Now listen, if you feel like you forgave somebody 7 times, you pushing it, bro. 7 times? You lucky I forgave you once. But 7? But see, what Jesus did is like, he basically says this, hey, good job, Peter. And Peter was proud of himself. Like, I imagine when Peter asked that, he was like, okay, God, when somebody offends me or somebody does me wrong, man, I should just forgive them 7 times. Like, he was feeling good. Like, and Jesus was like, oh, no, you're still thinking too small. Because forgiveness, family, forgiveness in the kingdom isn't about keeping score. And here's the phrase I want stuck in your head all night as we're going to talk about forgiveness. Here's the phrase. If you're a note taker, I want you to write this down. I refuse to carry what God told me to release. I refuse to carry what God told me to release. Come on, we're going to say it together. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I refuse to carry what God told me to release. Y'all don't mean that. I hear it. Y'all sound like it. We're going to say it like we mean it. 1, 2, 3. I refuse to carry what God told me to release. There we go. All right. Some of y'all like, I do not agree with that, Pastor Brandon. But let's go into our first point, because I think this is going to help y'all with this. Our first point today is forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Some of y'all can't spell. Reconciliation is a big word. I'll put it on the screen for you. I love you. Pastor B be knowing. Some of y'all didn't do good on the spelling bee. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. Let's clear something up right away, because this is where a lot of y'all or a lot of people get stuck. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same thing. Forgiveness is eternal. Reconciliation is relational. It's relational. Some of y'all probably like, you don't have to admit, you're like, man, I don't even know what reconciliation means. It means like to come back together. So, perfect example. If your significant other cheats on you, you have to like forgive them. That does not mean y'all got to get back together. Forgiving them is like internally, I forgive you for what you did. I really forgive you. Reconciliation means, but we're going to get back together. Does that make sense? Y'all tracking? So, you can forgive them. It does not mean you have to, hey, are we good over here? All right, thank you. Last warning. So Romans chapter 12, verse 18 says it this way. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Here's what I want us to grasp. The first part, it says, if it is possible. Why did I highlight that? Because sometimes it is not. Because let's just say it, let's just be honest here. Sometimes you can forgive someone and still not trust them. Sometimes you can forgive someone and still need distance. Sometimes you can forgive someone and still set boundaries. So forgiveness does not mean letting someone keep hurting you. Forgiveness does not mean acting like nothing happened. Forgiveness does not mean putting yourself back in toxic situations. So some of you need to hear this tonight. I need you to hear this. If you didn't hear anything else I've said so far, I need you to hear this. God is not asking you to go back into something that He pulled you out of. He wants you to forgive, but He is not saying go back into that. I got you out of that so you don't have to go back. For example, if someone keeps lying to you, forgiveness doesn't mean, cool, let me keep telling you everything. Facts? What it means is, forgiveness is, I release the bitterness that you always lie to me, but I'm also using wisdom by now setting boundaries and keeping a distance between us. I'm not giving you access or intimacy, which intimacy is just closeness. That's all that means. I'm not allowing you any closer than you need to. I forgive you for lying. I forgive you for spreading rumors. I forgive you for doing different things that you need to do. But I'm not allowing you to be close. Are you raising your hand? Oh, you know what? You're bold enough to ask a question. Ask the question. I'm getting there. Thank you. She said, how can you forgive somebody that keep? I love that boldness. She's like, I know you preaching, but I got something important to ask. I got you, Bella. I got you. I got you covered. Let me get down through these notes. That's why leaders are learners and learners, because I got something for you. But great question. Pastor B, what you saying is good and all, but I need you to ask this question. Sorry, that threw me off. No, you good. I appreciate that. Where is that? Oh, got you. Having boundaries, right? Because even Jesus had boundaries. John chapter 2, verse 24, there were people He didn't entrust Himself to. This is Jesus. I think we can all agree Jesus loved everybody. Even Jesus was like, yeah, I love you, but we gotta keep a little distance. So, once again, forgiveness is not let me go back to how it was. It's I'm not letting what you did control me anymore. And so when it comes to people who keep saying things about you or talking about you or repeating rumors about you, it's like, I have to forgive you because that's what God commands me to do. He does not command me to still do life with you. He does not command us to have reconciliation. He does not command me to still go to the movies, tell you about my life, be friends on TikTok, be friends on Instagram. He's giving you permission to establish some separation. You must forgive them, yes, but do life with them is not something that you have to do. And this matters for all of us because some of you are dealing with friend groups that turned on you, family situations that are messy, people who said things that cut deep. And the fear is this: if I forgive them, does that mean I have to go back, Pastor Brandon? And the answer is no. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this. Forgiveness is about your freedom, not their access. Forgiveness is about your freedom, you being free, not about them having accessibility to you. I want us to remember, I refuse to carry what God told me to release. Now, here's where it gets harder. Because some of you are like, okay, I get that, Pastor B, but they haven't even apologized to me. Did you know they've been talking about me all year? I called them, I confronted them on it, and they didn't even apologize. And I'm like, oh, cool, I got answers for that. Because point two is they don't have to say sorry. They don't have to say sorry. And this is where most people stay stuck. Because we've built this condition in our heads that's, I'll forgive them when they apologize. But the question is, what if they never do? What if they don't think they're wrong? What if they moved on like nothing happened? Now what do we do? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31 through 32 says it this way. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ, God, forgave you. No? Now, did God wait for you to forgive you? Did God wait for you to deserve it to be forgiven? No. Matter of fact, Romans chapter 5, verse 8 says it this way. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. God didn't say, once you apologize perfectly, I'll forgive you. He moved first. And now, what does he do? He calls us to do the same. Here's the truth most of us don't like when it comes to forgiveness. Waiting for an apology actually keeps us in prison. Waiting for an apology actually keeps us in prison because now your freedom is tied to their behavior, and if they never say sorry, you stay stuck. And I'm telling you, that is dangerous. Because you will come across some people in your life that just will not apologize. They do not care. I'm here to say, before Jesus has transformed, I was a non-apologizer. Pastor Brandon, the guy who's always like, seems nice till I kick you out. But outside of that, when I'm nice. But back in the day, before Jesus radically transformed, I would wrong you and tell you to your face and be like, yeah, so what? Get over it. Stop being so soft. Why are you crying? That's not Christ-like. So what do you do when you encounter someone that is just unmoved by it? That's like, I can hurt you and I actually do not care. I actually feel just, because here's the truth. Some people are going to hurt you and they feel justified in hurting you. Some people hurt you and they find joy in hurting you. They do. Like, this is a small example, but who in here got little siblings? You got siblings in general. And you know, like, they do that one thing that just get on your nerves. You know, like, any girl, like, y'all got brothers, any girls got brothers. And don't you hate when, like, you be in your room and your brother just come and, like, flick the lights on and then leave? You like, bro, what are you doing? Or he come in and he start doing weird stuff like clapping his hands, kick your shoes all over the place. I still do it to my 14-year-old daughter. I do it all. I just walk in and turn the lights on and walk out. Like, that's funny, but you know, like, they just doing that to get on your nerves. And there's people like that in your life that's like, oh, I know what triggers her. I know what triggers him. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyways. And so when you're expecting them to always apologize, you're just putting yourself in prison. It's like, the best way to give you an example is like, it's like drinking poison and then expecting somebody else to get sick. That's what bitterness does to us when we don't forgive. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15 says it this way. See to it that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. Here's the truth, guys. Bitterness doesn't just stay contained, it spreads. It starts showing up in every part of your life. I'm about to show you. You have bitterness, it starts with one person. Then if you allow bitterness to continue to grow, you go from one person to now you don't trust anybody. You can meet the most wonderful person and you don't trust them. They're giving you no reason not to trust them. I hear this all the time, like, man, I don't trust girls. I don't trust guys. It's like, so you going to lump everybody in because one person did you wrong? I don't trust people. That's bitterness. I don't let anybody in. You know, I got to be guarded. Yes, you have to be protecting of your space for sure. But to not let anybody in, to not trust anybody, that's bitterness. So it starts with one person, now you don't trust anybody. Then you stop trusting anybody, now you're guarded. And then after you become guarded, now you're cold. And then once you become cold, now you become distant. And not because that's who you are, but because you never released what happened to you. And here's the sad reality. Some of us, the person who hurt us has already moved on, and you're still carrying it every day. You're carrying it every day. I don't trust anybody. And the person that caused that does not care that you feel that way. They done moved on to the next person. Let me say something that might challenge you guys tonight. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. And I think that's the lie we've told ourselves, is that forgiveness means we said what they did was okay. No, it's not saying that we agree with what they did, but it is releasing the power of what they did from over me. And this is why Jesus instructs us that it's 70 times 7, because Jesus is wise enough to understand that sometimes we thought we forgive them, but it's going to take more than saying, I forgive you one time to keep forgiving them. Sometimes you're going to have to keep forgiving someone for something that they did for years until you're completely healed from it. That's why Jesus is saying, Jesus understands the conditions of our human heart and how we hold on to things and how we process these things. And that's why it's like, no, 7 is not enough. Sometimes it's going to be 490 times until you finally release what somebody did to you. Now, let me tell you like the stupid story, Pastor Brandon, for not forgiving somebody. I was 6 years old. Now, I remember this vividly. This was pretty impactful. I was 6 years old, and we went to this cookout at this place called Belle Isle. And if it's in Michigan, this place called Belle Isle. Got this giant slide. It got a beach. It's like the best place to hang out. And my aunt, she's my favorite aunt, she used to date this man named Cleo. And I remember on my way out, my aunt let me grab a pop, a Faygo, and it was my favorite, the red Faygo. I love a red Faygo. And I'm drinking it, and my aunt's like, hey, get in the car. And I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, we about to leave. As I'm getting in the car, Cleo, he not even my real uncle. He just dating my aunt. Cleo was like, hey, throw that pop away. And I looked at him as a 6-year-old like, my aunt said I can have this pop. He goes, I don't care what your aunt said. You're going to spill it in her car. Throw it away. And at 6, I was like, forget you, Cleo. You're not even my real uncle. I'm going to be here forever. I don't even know if you're going to be here. And to this day, Cleo is not around anymore. But still. Cleo said, at 6, I'm telling you, this is true. At 6 years old, in my 6-year-old mind, Cleo was the enemy. I'm never talking to Cleo again. For 7 years, I will call my cousin right now to verify if I had to. 7 years, I would not speak to Cleo. We would walk into family functions. He'd be like, what's up, Brandon? I'd be like, Cleophas, because that was his real name. Cleophas. He'd be like, how's school? I'd be like, good, because it was disrespectful. You had to talk to adults, and you got whooping. So I was respectful, but I let it know, Cleo, me and you are not cool. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me how I'm doing. And I remember my cousin one time was like, why don't you talk to Cleo? I was like, you mean Cleophas? Why I don't talk to Cleophas is because at one time at the cookout, he made me throw out my red pop when I just opened it. She's like, weren't you like 6? I go, it's the principal. He not even my real uncle. 7 years, 6 to 13, I did not talk to Cleophas. And then finally at 13, I don't know what clicked. I was like, yo, this is stupid. Like, this man's a nice guy. So I kid you not, this is a true story. I saw him at a cookout. I was like, hey, Cleophas, can we talk? And he's like, yeah, what's up, man? I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I've been meaning you all these years. He's like, yeah, what was that about? I was like, it started when I was 6. And he was like, bro, I am so sorry you held on to that all these years. I was like, it's okay, but you're not my real uncle, so I didn't think you could have told me that. And man, me and Cleo was cool. So then the next year, here's what's crazy. I promise you I'm getting somewhere. So the next year, I'm turning 14. I'm a freshman in high school. And at the time, Usher was like the biggest artist on the planet. He had just released this album called Confessions. It was a dope album, 2004. And so he was going on this tour. It was like Usher, Kanye West before Kanye was Kanye. He was a new artist. And then like Christina Milian. It's not a big deal to y'all. It's a big deal to us back in the day, all right? This was a big deal. And so I told So Cleo was like, for your 14th birthday, what you want? And I was like, man, I just want to go see Usher in concert. And so my 14th birthday rolls around, and guess who bought me tickets to go see Usher? Cleophas. Now, and it's one of my best birthday presents to this. I was just telling the team about it the other day. It was crazy. I got to go to this concert. That was a big deal because I was a freshman in high school. I got to go with like a girl that was a junior in high school. I was feeling myself, man. Like I was the man that one day. I was feeling myself. And I know it's a funny story, but I think about this like as an adult. I'm like, man, think about all the things I missed out on in this beautiful relationship that I could have had with Cleophas because I refused to forgive him over something petty over a pop. And so I share that. I know it's kind of like a funny story, but the principle of it stays the same. I held on to something and he had moved on with his life. I held on to something and I missed out on a lot of great things because I just had bitter and resentment over something small. Now, I'm not saying that you guys are bitter about something small, but I'm saying forgiveness kept me stuck from something greater that I could have got to experience. So I'm not saying forgive the person to get back in a relationship, but I am saying, man, what is the bitterness doing in your heart preventing you from experiencing what God wants you to experience? There's a freedom in life that he wants you to have that you don't get to experience until you actually have forgiveness. So once again, forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. It's saying I'm not letting what they did control my future. And that's different. You're not excusing it. You're not minimizing it. You're not pretending it didn't hurt. You're actually just choosing freedom for yourself. Because the truth of the matter is Jesus isn't asking you to pretend it didn't matter. He's asking you, do you want to stay stuck or do you want to be free? Now here's the last part. Because I feel like this is where we all get stuck sometimes. Where we've all been like, I've tried to forgive, but it keeps coming back. And this leads to our last point of the night, that it's a journey, not a destination. It's a journey, not a destination. Forgiveness is not a one-time moment. It's a repeated decision. That's why Jesus said 70 times 7. He wasn't giving a number. He was showing us it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Because here's what happens. You forgive. And you think you're good, and then you see him again in the cafeteria with that person. And you remember what they did to you. You remember what they said to you. Or something triggers it, and suddenly it feels fresh again. And where that gets hard is because when that happens, you begin to think, I guess I didn't forgive them. But no, you did. You just have to choose to forgive them again. And I need you to understand that is normal. That does not mean you're broken. That does not mean you're dumb. That does not mean you're not in control of your emotions. No. When things hurt, they can resurface. They can come back. They can resurface. So that's why Jesus lays out the example. 70 times 7. It's a lifestyle. Leslie. It's a lifestyle. Over and over and over and over and over again. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13 says this: bear with each other and forgive one another. Forgive as the Lord has forgiven you. That word bear with, this is what this means. It means that this takes effort. Forgiveness, guys, is not always instant. It's layered. Some days you're going to feel like you got this whole thing figured out. And some days you feel free. And then other days it feels like it did the first time where it hit you in the chest. That doesn't mean, hear me, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're healing. It's like You know, if you like ever fall or scrape your knee or your elbow, and even when it starts scabbing, you know, if you bump it against the wall or you get like some water, it still stings. Because it's still healing. It's in the process of it. So it's the same way with forgiveness. But this is why it's important that this is a lifestyle you forgive over and over and more and more and more, because eventually you get to the point where it doesn't affect you the same anymore. This is how you know this is how you know you're healed. When you can remember what happened, and you can remember it hurt, but you don't remember how that pain felt anymore. That's when you know you have healed from it. You remember it hurt, but you don't remember how that pain felt. And there's some things in our life right now, if you think about it, you remember how that pain feels right now. Like it just happened right now. But then there's other things in your life, you think about it, you're like, that wasn't the best time of my life, but I just remember it was hard, but I don't even remember what that felt like anymore. It takes time. It's a journey. It's not a destination. And you're going to have to practice that for the rest of your life. You have to learn. And the better you get at this, the sooner you get to this, the sooner you learn how to consistently practice forgiveness the way God intended for us to do it, the better you'll be at relationships. The better you'll be at with people. Because people are going to hurt us no matter what at the end of the day. They're going to hurt us. It's inevitable. You don't want to get hurt? You can't be around people. Relationships are messy, and I'm not just talking about romantic. I'm talking about platonic. Doing life with people is messy. People going to say stuff that trigger you. People going to say stuff that hurt your feelings, and they don't mean it. People going to do things, and they didn't mean it. And people going to do things, and they did mean it. But you are in control of your forgiveness. Sometimes you have to talk yourself down. I forgive them. I know them. That's not their heart. They didn't mean that. They didn't mean that. Some of you are going to have to learn how to forgive your parents. Maybe they haven't been the best for you. And I'm not excusing any behavior, because I know a lot of things that go on. But can I just give you some insight as a parent? Most of the time, they're doing the best that they can. They're doing the best that they know how to do. I just want to be honest. Most parents didn't have kids and they just wanted to go, I just want to be a bad parent. Trust me. They didn't hold you in their arms when you were born. It's like, I just want to be a bad parent. Most parents that are absent, I'm telling you, they didn't have you and just want to be like, peace, I don't ever want to be in my child's life. 9 times out of 10, they haven't even forgiven themselves for disappearing, and they don't know how to come back. That's not for you to bear it, but that is for you to forgive. And I feel that's so heavy, especially with this group. I feel like we got a lot of anger towards our parents. There's a lot of disappointment whether it's our parent, whether it's a step-parent, whether it's the person who's acting as our parent because they're our guardian. There's a lot of unforgiveness. And some of it's warranted. Some of it's warranted because we don't have it all figured out as parents. I'm just speaking as parents, as a parent. But let me tell you this, you hating them does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. You hating them, it just actually works for you. Pastor Brent, you don't understand. They're never going to change. They say they're going to change. They're never. That's between them and God. What's on you is, can you forgive them if they always stay the same? Can you? I'm not saying excuse their behavior. Hear me. Because some of y'all have been in some pretty messed up situations. I'm not saying excuse the behavior, but I am saying forgive it. Because all you do is you start carrying that stuff into all your other relationships. I'm never going to be like them. And that's just a whole nother toxic thing. That's a whole nother thing I don't even have time to address tonight. I'm never going to be like my dad. I'm never going to be like my mom. Now you're in a whole different toxic situation. Because that's rooted out of bitterness. You want full freedom? You got to forgive them for what they did. And as Jesus said in Matthew 70 times 7, you have to forgive them over and 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 over again. What I'm talking to you about tonight is probably going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. But if you can master it now, this is going to save you a lot of pain and heartache later. It's going to allow you to walk in a lot of freedom later. Because there's a lot of adults walking around with bitter hearts because they refuse to forgive people. Some of you need to forgive an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend that did you wrong, and you've been holding on to that for far too long. You need to forgive it. I'm not saying excuse their behavior. I'm saying forgive them for your freedom. Here's the truth. Even if they apologize, they can't give you back what they took from you. They can't give you back that time. They can't give you back those tears. They can't give you back those sad nights. That's what I'm saying. An apology is great, but it's not going to fix it. You have to forgive for you. They can never repay you for what they took. That's why forgiveness is for you. It's your freedom. They can't give it back to you. They can never give you that back. And so some of us are holding on, waiting for an apology, thinking it's going to fix it, and it's not. Your heart is the only thing that can fix it when you let them go. And this is it, and we'll close with this. Part of forgiveness, this is just a bonus, is being honest. It's just being honest. Some of us can't get free from the things that have upset us or hurt us because we're not honest about what it really did to us. I'm good, I'm okay. No, I'm all right. No, I'm good. That didn't affect. Yes, it did. Admit it. That hurt your feelings. That made you mad. You hate your parents. You hate that person. God can handle that. And we don't get to fix that or transition that or transform that until you're honest about how you actually feel. Be honest. I have a saying, God can't transform what you're not transparent about. And you see that. That's why I always encourage people to read the Psalms. Because you get, for the most part, David wrote a good chunk of the Psalms. You get to see what honesty looks like. David is very honest. And if I'm honest, a lot of y'all's freedom is being capped because you're afraid to tell the truth about how you really feel. You don't have to be strong. That's a fallacy. It's not real. You do have to be vulnerable so God can change it and heal it. Guys, forgiveness is freedom. If there's anything in my time with y'all that I've had that I hope you grasp, it's this piece. This will save you a lot of time in your adult life. If you can get this now, this will save you a lot of time in your life. You need to learn how to forgive. It's important. It's paramount. It will literally change your life. And I believe some of you tonight, that's the step we need to take. We need to pray prayers of forgiveness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite our leaders up to the front because we're going to pray for some of you. But first, while they're getting ready to come up, all our leaders come up, I'm going to lead us in a prayer of forgiveness. So with every head bowed and eye closed, I just want you to repeat after me. So Heavenly Father, I come to you vulnerable. I come to you with an open heart. God, I'm hurting. Come on, repeat it. God, I'm hurting. I'm carrying something I shouldn't have to carry. And I'm bringing it to you. Heavenly Father, I forgive. Come on, say it. I forgive those that have wronged me, those that have hurt me. And I pray today that you begin to heal my heart so I can experience the freedom that you want to give me. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Now, what we're going to do in this moment, we've kind of done it for the last couple weeks, so you should kind of understand. Julia's going to lead us in a song. We're going to do this for 12 to 15 minutes. And our whole team is up here ready to pray for you from down there all the way down there. And if you just need to pray through some forgiveness, our team is prepared to pray for you. Here's my encouragement. If it's weighing on you, come get prayer. And it doesn't have to be with a specific leader. None of us are more spiritual than other. We are all here to pray and be with you. But you do have an opportunity tonight where you don't have to walk out those doors carrying something that you've been carrying for far too long. So Julius is going to lead us in a song. And while she does that, our team will be up here ready and willing to pray for you. And if you don't need prayer, here's what I ask you to do. Take some time to reflect. Look in your heart. What have I been carrying that I need to forgive somebody for? We're just going to do this for the next 12 to 15 minutes, and then I'll pray you out and release you. I just ask that you respect those around you. Please don't talk to your friends. Use this as a moment to reflect. Don't be a disruption, because there's a lot of people going through some things in this room that that God wants to do some heart surgery on. So, 12 to 15 minutes. Our team is up here to pray for you, and then we'll release.